Shalom, it's Rabbi Alex. How's everyone doing? Happy early Thanksgiving. I'm here to give you a lesson on gender identity and about the use of pronouns that I think might actually come in handy as you go into Thanksgiving. So I'm wearing something over here. I'm going to have Joanne, who's filming it, take a look. This is from the Reconstructing Judaism Conference, and it has my name, and you also see a couple of pronouns there, he and him. This is something that is very common in a lot of conferences and college campuses these days, and probably something you might never have heard of if you're like me. So I took a class on it at the Reconstructing Judaism Conference taught by Dr. Andrea Jacobs. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this so that you can understand what's going on, as well as connecting it to this week's Torah portion, which is Vayishlach. This week's Torah portion is about Jacob and Esau. Jacob and Esau is this great battle between brothers. Jacob is a complete opposite of his brother Esau, and they really fear each other. And this is the moment where they actually come together and they have a reunion. It's very meaningful after many, many years away. One way to think about the difference between Jacob and Esau, though, is that each of them is really struggling with their own masculinity and male identity. They don't know who they are as a man. They don't feel comfortable in that. And really the conflict that they have is within themselves as much with each other. Esau is very strong and a traditional masculine. He's a hunter, but he's also very sensitive. And he doesn't really love that identity at all. And Jacob is, poetic and learned, and he doesn't always feel comfortable in that identity. And when they come together, it's like they're saying, it's okay, you can be who you are. So last week, Dr. Andrea Jacobs out of Philadelphia taught a small group, including myself, about what this means in terms of pronouns and genders. And basically, if you think about gender, which the difference between sex and gender, sex between your legs, gender between your ears. Gender is what you feel inside about yourself. And what you feel inside about yourself might be different than what the world expects of you and what you think that you should be, in a way. And it could lead, like with Jacob and Esau, to this conflict where you don't know what to do. So when you hear terms like binary or non-binary, binary means male, female, that's what it's referring to. Non-binary is referring to not feeling like you exactly fit with either male or female, or that categories even work for you at all. You might also hear, so let me tell you, cisgender, that's another thing, that's normative gender, you might hear those words around. But I want to tell you about pronouns, why that's important. So some people in our society, in our community, they might not feel that the pronouns that traditionally have been given to them, like he, him, she, or her, work for them. They might like to use something like they or them. That's an alternative because there is no great language. And so if you see, like at a convention that I went to, it asks you for your pronouns. Basically, what it's asking you is before you even come in contact with someone, that right when you're meeting them, you would know that how they like to be referred. And this is to prevent embarrassment on either person's part and to really start relationships where people are. It's really important. Seeing what Jacob and Esau go through, because they didn't have the kind of language we have today. It's really important that people are able to be their authentic selves. Given the constraints of language, given the constraints of the society we live, we might not all feel that we really meet those kind of expectations. So in honor of the pain that Jacob and Esau had throughout their lives, in honor of so many of our pain, I just encourage you to really be thoughtful when you're interacting with people, to be accepting and kind and curious. And that's really what it's about. In that way, we can make safe spaces on our Thanksgiving tables, our Shabbat tables, or in our life. I wish you a great Thanksgiving and Shabbat Shalom until next week, and I'll be teaching more about this in the future. Shabbat Shalom.